Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Lazarus here, back with another MLB The Show 20 video. And today, we're going to be talking about the live stream that San Diego Studios did the other day, some of the brand new features that we're going to be seeing in MLB The Show 20 that were revealed in the live stream, as well as some new legends, and just overall a bunch of new information. It's always fun this time of year to see what San Diego Studios has been working on for the last few months, and to see all the cool surprises they have hidden up their sleeves. And you know what? In the two little live streams that San Diego Studios put on a couple days ago, there were some pretty promising things in there. So without wasting any more time, we're going to go ahead and get straight into the details. And maybe a little analysis too. So we're going to be starting things off with the 3 new legends that were revealed. And we got some good ones here today. Of course, if you knew baseball in the 90s, you had to know the Braves' top 3. Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and John Smoltz. All 3 of them recent inductees to the Hall of Fame. And now all 3 of them are in MLB The Show. Now you have some really interesting things here with these guys, such as Greg Maddux's pitching style. Is it going to be effective in the game? Because he was more known for having pinpoint location than overpowering fastball. And we've all seen how low fastballs can get lit up in MLB The Show. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he plays. And of course, a guy like John Smoltz, you know he's going to have both starting pitching cards and relieving cards. And it just brings a lot of options to the table, it brings a lot of ways to play, and it's just going to be interesting to see how San Diego Studios works these things out. And of course, having 3 more brand new legends is pretty freaking cool, especially guys of this caliber. Definitely can't wait to use them in the game. Now we're going to be moving on to the hitting side of things, where San Diego Studios showed off some very interesting aspects that could have a huge effect on how the game is played. So we're going to start things off by going over a little PCI customization, and yes, now the PCI is completely customizable to your own liking. Some of the settings you'll be able to change are the center, which is the little center part, obviously, the inner rings, the outer rings, the color, the transparency, and of course the fade out. So when it's about to be a pitch, it fades out. Pretty self-explanatory, all these options are. And while you still can choose from the normal presets, the customization is still a pretty nice thing to have, so you could tune everything to your exact liking, and it may even make you a better hitter in the game, you never know. So nothing major there, but just cool little details. But now we're going to get more nitty gritty into the actual hitting part of hitting. And San Diego Studios has introduced the perfect result, which in essence is perfect timing and perfect contact. So in MLB The Show 19, there was a lot of complaints about how lineouts, perfect or good timing, squared up, it would basically result in a line drive to the outfielder. Like 50% of the time it felt like. So with this brand new perfect timing, perfect contact outcome, it should lead to those line drives to the outfielders falling in for hits more often. And there's also more new stuff on the fielding side of things that can allow this, but we'll get into that later. But this should lead to an increase in skill gap from average players to great players and eliminate some of the random RNG bullshit that tends to happen in MLB The Show. To further prove this, San Diego Studios came strapped up with stats to back it up, and over the course of the closed beta, they showed off that when a perfect timing, perfect contact swing occurred, the average stats were an 860 average, a slugging percentage of 2.093, and an OPS of 2.953. Now this is actually very close to real life counterparts, because in real life, as exit velocity goes up, so do all of those numbers. For example, the batting average on an exit velocity of about like 100 miles per hour is like 750, I believe. It could be higher, but I'm just guesstimating off the top of my head. And seeing those numbers match up more closely with real life would hopefully prove for a more realistic experience in the game. So hopefully this will mean that user input when it comes to hitting makes a much bigger difference, and some of the luck and other nonsense is stripped away from the equation in exchange for human skill. Now we're going to be moving on to some of the fielding details, and the first new thing they showed off was the perfect throw meter. Now if you play with meter throwing, you know that you have to get the little line in the green section for it to be a good throw, but they've taken things a step further and they've now added a line in the middle of the green section for a perfect throw. And as soon as I saw it, I immediately thought of like the Madden kicking meter. They're pretty similar in setup and I guess in execution as well. And they really emphasized how important this meter is when it comes to throwing runners out at home from the outfield, because if you get that throw spot on, chances are you're going to be gunning people out left and right. In addition to this, the green portion of the throwing meter is now much more scaled and has different speeds that little line based on your player's skills. Now I noticed this a bit last year with Miguel Andujar. The first game of MLB The Show 19 I booted up started in March to October, and the Orioles hit a grounder to my third baseman Andujar. I saw how tiny his little green thing was, and I was shocked. I've never seen that before. It looks like in the Show 20, they're taking it a step further. So now, if they suck at fielding, their green section of the meter is going to be tiny, and the line is going to move a lot faster, making it harder to complete what would be routine plays. And then of course we have some outfield changes. Sinking line drives are going to play a much more bigger part in defense this year, and player attributes are going to have a big effect on whether or not they can play those sinking line drives better or smarter. So instead of just diving at something and getting lucky and catching it, if your player's attributes suck, he's not really going to be able to do that. Maybe once every blue moon, but it will definitely not be a constant thing. For example, let's say you have JD Martinez out in left field. He's probably not going to be able to make a shoestring catch, so instead you'll have to let it fall in front of you and just throw it in so it doesn't roll all the way to the monster. So all it does is encourage smarter play and more skill on defense, which I'm all for. And finally, we're going to be talking about a little pitching quirk they revealed, and that makes secondary pitches reach speeds that are more than usual. So some examples for this are Aroldis Chapman, Jordan Hicks, Noah Syndergaard, and Jose Alvarado. Two of the examples they went specifically into: Noah Syndergaard's sinker can now reach upwards of 97 miles per hour due to this quirk, which is pretty damn disgusting, and Jose Alvarado's two-seamer can now reach 101 miles per hour. So this makes it more like their real life stuff, giving those little secondary pitches a boost that they otherwise wouldn't be able to achieve, and gives some pitchers a more unique aspect. Now I feel like something similar could be used with Mariano Rivera here, where he might have his own unique quirk to make his cutter absolutely disgusting, but that's just my personal theory. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more informational videos like this in the future, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these things excites you the most for MLB The Show 20, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.